Hello friends, how are you doing today? So it's been it's almost a month since the last video, so I'd like to release a new video to this channel. So uh, it's a new one here about a questionnaire like this. So you can use this as so this is a final result. So we can get. So basically the idea is like this. We'll have some data in a spreadsheet. As you can see here, you have some questions and answers in the spreadsheet. And for the questions, you can do some settings. For the question, maybe for some questions, you have a single select. And for some questions, you can have multiple select for the answers. And also, you can insert one image. So this is optional for your questions, as you can see here in the final result here. So basically this tool is basically using the data in the spreadsheet and create a Google Doc file so automatically, and you can do all the configurations so in the spreadsheet, and the script we're going to create this doc for you. So if you are a teacher, or if you in your company you need to make something like this, so maybe this tool may be very helpful for you in your daily work. Okay, so let me show you how to use this tool and tell you how to do the configurations in the spreadsheet. Okay, so here so this spreadsheet here is only a spreadsheet you need to use. You can make a copy of this file to your Google Drive, okay? And you're going to need a template. So for this one, I use a class nodes template. As you can see here, this is a template. So in this template, you will have some default styles in the template, as you can see here. So this is, if you can see, for the styles. So basically, this is a style title, okay? And this one, as you can see, this is a subtitle. And all of these styles are built in this template. And you also can create a new template by go to new and from template. So you can select the favorite template you'd like to use and build your own template for this tool to use. So basically, this part you can add it to your template, whatever content you'd like to add for your template, and all the questions and answers will be appended after the content, okay, after this line here, okay. So this is the whole idea. As you can see, this is a template. So this part is exactly the same as this part here, and all I did in the script is to add the questions and answers to this template. Of course, I made a copy of this template and make a new file, so you don't need to update this template. So if you'd like to change something in this part, you can edit your template, and the new file created will show the change you did in the template. Okay, so as you can see here, so the first part is the question part. As you can see, this is a heading 1. So basically, so this is so for questions, we're going to need to have an index. Okay, so question 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and this is your question. So this is required, and here you can choose. This is a single select question, or multiple select question, or just a general questions. Okay, you have 3 options for your question, and for the answers. Okay, let me go through this. Go to question first. So this is the first setup you need to do for your question, and if you so optionally you add image for your question. So this image can be an image on your Google Drive. As you can see here, this example, this is my cat here. I have an image on my Google Drive. I just copy the file link and put it here. And the script, we're going to use this file URL to grab the data from this image. Okay, and here optional, you can set the width and height of the image. Okay, just in case you have a very large image, you can resize it by these two parameters here. So if you leave this width and height as empty, we're going to keep the original image size, okay, in the doc. And here I have another image, as you can see, for the second question. So this is a public image you can use. If you go to this URL, you should see an image, okay, like this. So basically, you can use the public image URL, and you can use the URL of the image on your Google Drive. Okay, so you have two options, but you don't have to put the image here. And if you don't need the image for your question, you can leave it as a blank. Okay, so this part is for image from column D to column F, and here we have answer text. So this part is placed after the image or after the questions. Sorry, so it's after the questions, as you can see here. So your answer. So basically, normally we're going to have the same text here as usual. But if you'd like to define some difference, because for this multiple select, you may say your answers, because this is a multiple select. So you may have a different answer text. So you can define them per questions, okay? But we also have a default settings here. We have a default, maybe let me zoom in a little bit. So basically, this is the default values. So if you leave this as a blank, so the script we're going to use the default values in the settings tab, okay? So basically, you have two options. You can use this, you can use the text here, and you also can use the default settings. So if all the answer text are the same, you can use this default settings and remove all of this here, because they are optional, okay? And here, you will add blank rows after the answer text. So by default, I set up the values as 1 here. So this blank row is basically your answer, and I'm going to insert a blank row. How many rows? So this is the rows you defined in the spreadsheet. I put 1 here, that means I'm going to add 1 empty row here. Okay, so you can change it, because if you have, maybe you have a question here, like comment sections, maybe you need to provide the users multiple rows, so you can define the empty rows for your answer. Okay, so basically this is blank rows after answer text, basically after this text here. So this, we also have a default value you can use. As you can see here, default blank rows after answer text. So by default, it's 1, but you can do some modifications here, right? And another stuff here is the blank rows after answer line. So what is this blank rows? So basically, as you can see here, we have an answer line here. So basically, we're going to add a blank rows. You can use these parameters here to add blank rows to separate your questions, okay? And let me go back to the, so what is the main purpose of this? Maybe sometimes if you have let me maybe show the page. Where can I show the page? Because this is, because sometimes your questions answers are separated. Maybe your question is the first page and your answers in another page, but you'd like to push your question to the next page. Okay, so basically like this one for the question 3, if I didn't put enough empty rows here, this is the question and answers are not on the same page. Okay, so the main purpose of this blank rows after answer line is designed for this purpose. Okay, so maybe you can use it. So maybe you have other ideas to use them. So I just put option here so you can use it. And for the same logic here, we also have a default blank rows after the answer line. So by default is 1. And you can choose to add the answer line or not. So this is a checkbox. You can check it. If it's checked, you will have a line here. If it's not checked, it's unchecked, you will not see a line here for your answers. Okay, so it depends on you. It depends on how you do the settings in the spreadsheet. So we can try it here. Just uncheck this. So basically, that's about the settings in the questions. So for the questions, I think I already covered almost all of them here. So this part is only for the multiple and the single. Okay, so for single you may have some options to select, and the multiple you also have some options to be selected for the question. So you just only need to add the options for your question. So that's all for the answers. Okay, and so these answers will be put like this. So you can, so let's explain this part to you. So here for each answers, I mean for each answer options here, you have a checkbox here to tick, and you have index like A, B, C, D. You can have uppercase, and you also can have a lowercase, and you also can have numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So you also can do the settings. Okay, you can do the change in your in the settings here. Okay, so so the first part is like this, answer checkbox. I put just special characters here. Okay, so this is not a real checkbox, it's just a square characters, if you can see here. Not like this one, this is a checkbox. Okay, so this looks weird. So basically, we're going to put this checkbox. You can replace it whatever you like, okay, basically at the beginning of each answer option. Okay, so this is the first part you can do in the settings. And the next part is about this index. Okay, so here I offer you 3 options to choose. You can have number, you also can have upper letters and lower letters. Okay, so you can choose, maybe try to the lower and uncheck this. So this is special characters. You can get it from whatever in your Google Doc. You can insert content, something like this. I think I can insert some special characters like here. So you can grab any special characters and put it in this spreadsheet, and it should work fine. Okay, so I covered this. Okay, I think I already covered for the settings. In the settings page, I think, oh, okay, so this part is done. Let me mark it as a gray color here. So this part is already explained to you. And so for the styles, you have 3, so basically you can change the styles for the question and for the answers, and also for this answer text here. So here, that's why I have 3 options for the styles: a question style, answer text style. For the styles, you can choose basically title, subtitle, so heading 1 to heading 6, and a normal text style. So these styles are from the Google Doc. Okay, so for each template, you will have some default styles for the text, okay, for your paragraph. So basically, you can apply to the styles, to the questions and answers, so things like that. Okay, so for this one, let me. So for this one, as you can see here, it's heading one. It's heading one is because I set heading one here, as you can see. So if I choose heading two, I will have different effect. Okay. So this is about styles for the text in your Google Doc. And the last part here on line 11 and 12 here, so you can define your output Google Doc name here. Okay, so here maybe I can add some functions here to grab the date and time. So maybe I can use concat. Let's end now. Okay, this is not very good. I think we can format it. Format. I don't know if we have a formula like this in the spreadsheet. Maybe year, day, month. Okay, I don't remember the formula here. Let me try format, not format, maybe text. Okay, now year, day, month. Okay, so this works. Forget the name. This is a text, not a format. Okay, so I think we can add the time, minutes. I think it's small case. Let me try it. Second. Okay, so I go to the file name here. You can define the file name. Basically, this file name will be used here for the file name, for the output. Okay, and here is the template URL. As you can see, I have a class node template here. Basically here, I have two templates here. So to change the template is kind of easy. So just only to grab the URL of this template. So maybe I can try another template. So I just open this template and grab the URL for this template and just replace this with this one. So I think this one, dark orange theme. Okay, so once you do all the settings for your question, okay, and all the settings in the spreadsheet, both spreadsheet, and you can just go to this menu and create the Google Doc. Okay, so let me go to this folder and just remove this one, because this one, and as you can see here, this one I think is a new one just created. And if you receive this message, the Google Doc should be created successfully, and you can go to the doc with this URL, and you also can go to this folder. So basically, this folder will be created automatically for the first time, or if you delete this folder will be created automatically and enter the same directory. So basically, it depends on where you put this file on Google Drive. Okay, so in the same directory, and create a new folder for the output files. So let's open this file and see what we did the change in the settings. Let me close this one. Close this one. So this is a template. Okay, so this is a new file. I think I would like to remove this formula here. Oh, okay, so the formula is already removed. So question 1, I think I changed the the index for the answers to lowercase, so we can verify it here. So it's lower. And what else we did? So we removed the answer line here by unchecked this checkbox. So we don't have any lines here. Okay, for the questions and answers, no lines anymore, as you can see. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know to use this tool. Okay, so if you are interested in the code, you only need to go to the tools, script editor, and you should open this file. All the code are here. All right. You have a class here as app, and you have only one functions here to create the Google Doc. All right. I think it will be very easy for you to understand if you know how to code. Okay, I just want to explain to you the basic logic. Basically, the logic is quite straightforward. So it's basically when the script is initialized, it's going to grab the settings from the spreadsheet and grab the questions from this spreadsheet. Okay, and we're going to make a copy of the template. Make a copy of the template which you defined by this URL. Okay, make a copy of the template, and for the questions, for each questions in this spreadsheet, we're going to loop through each questions and append the different data to the template file you just copied. Okay, so if you check the code here, so basically, let's see where. So this create function here in this class. If we check the function here, where is it? So this is a create function in the app class. As I just said, we grab the settings by using this get settings function here. So you can go to these get settings functions to understand more about how to get the settings. And for the questions here, you also can get the questions from in this function to get the questions from the questions sheet. Okay, and for the so here is the Google Doc template. We're going to create a template. Okay, basically from the URL, and we're going to pass the name. So basically the output file name, and rename the file for the copied template. And we're going to grab the body's object of this document. Okay, and as you can see here in this loop, for each question in these questions object, maybe array, we're going to add question. So this is the first part, add question, and I'm going to append. Not this one. This is append the question. Do some conditional things here, like single, multiple here. So basically add a square bracket here to enter the single or multiple. Okay, so this is the part to append the image. Okay, and this is to append the answers. And here you can check if we are using the number index or uppercase index or lowercase index. Okay, so this is the part to add the answers. And after the answer, we're going to append the answer text. So this is the part under append the answer text. And after the answer text, we're going to append the blank rows after the answer text. And after the answer text, we're going to add an answer line. So if we have this answer line is checked, add answer line here is checked, I'm going to append this line, or we're not going to add this line here. And finally, we're going to add some blank rows after the answer line. So this is the final part of each loop. Okay, so once we made all of these changes to our Google Doc, we're going to save and close it, and I'm going to return the doc URL. So we got this URL here and output it to the end users. So that's all. So it's quite simple to understand, I think, after my quick explanation. So if you want to get more details, so basically you need to know maybe how to insert the image. Basically, you can, and how I handle the different URLs for image on your Google Drive or public image URL. So you can read this code here. And for the questions, for the settings, all right. So I think that's almost it. And then maybe one more thing here. Please don't change the tab name here. Okay. So these tab names here are reference in our script, as you can see here. So if you have to change them, remember you need to update the name here in the script accordingly. Okay. Especially for these questions and the settings. And this is output folder name you can define. You also, if you prefer another folder name, can change it here. And for the app name as well. So the app name is use it as for this menu. Okay. So I think that's it for today's video, and I hope you can use it in your daily work. All right. So thank you very much, and thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.